No GD, no election.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there was tension in Kabarnet and Baringo areas after KANU chairman and former Baringo Senator Gideon Moi failed to present his papers at the Kabarnet IBC offices. Apparently, Gideon Moi was to present his papers between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. And majority of his supporters, that is the KANU diehard supporters from Baringo County, had camped at the offices to wait for him as he was going to present his papers. And after around noon, they realized that Gideon Moi was not coming through. So some of them left the offices frustrated and headed all the way to Kabarnet Stadium. Some of them went to the KANU headquarters or KANU offices in Baringo and Kabarnet, where they camped. Some supporters went to the Baringo airstrip to wait for Gideon Moi, thinking that he was going to come. He was going to come via his chopper. But after all this, Gideon Moi did not appear.
No election. No GD, no election.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, some of Gideon Moi's supporters who felt frustrated by this turn of events were heard chanting, "No Gideon Moi, no elections," because they were prepared for a return of the son of the former president into the senatorial seat. But to their surprise, or they were not informed that previously, that a day before, Gideon Moi had met President William Ruto at State House, where a deal was struck for Gideon Moi to step down in favor of UDA candidate for the senatorial seat. So as it stands right now, UDA might have a walkover for that post, because it was going to be Gideon Moi of Kanu versus UDA's candidate. But after the deal was struck, now it seems Gideon Moi is not going to vie for that seat, and it is going to be a smooth sail through for the UDA candidate. But the question is, how did President William Ruto manage to convince Gideon Moi to step down for the UDA candidate? Or what was the carrot which was dangled for Gideon Moi in order for him to step down? Now, according to our bird in the corridors of power, we are privy to information that President William Ruto has promised Gideon Moi a position in his government, which means Gideon Moi is set to join President William Ruto's government after that deal was struck. And from the sources that we are having, it's like Gideon Moi will be given, or Kanu will be offered, a CS position within President William Ruto's government. And one of the guys who might be dropped in this whole formation is one of the experts, the ODM experts, who was brought into this whole coalition so as to appease Baba's supporters. So according to reliable sources, I repeat this, according to reliable sources, for Gideon Moi to have agreed to step down, President William Ruto promised to give him one position, that is CS position, in his government or in his cabinet. And we still don't know which cabinet position, but we are being told that apparently one of the ODM experts will have to be done away with so as to accommodate Gideon Moi in President William Ruto's government. Now, Gideon Moi must have also bargained with President William Ruto about some of the debts that the government has been owing the Standard Group. Remember, Standard Group has been struggling financially, while the government itself owes Standard Group close to over 5 billion shillings. So it was a give and take between President William Ruto and Gideon Moi, who people saw as someone who is going to be President William Ruto's competitor. And then within those discussions, there could have been a political deal, maybe for President William Ruto to support Gideon Moi after he retires from the presidency. So Gideon Moi maybe at some point may be introduced to take over the political mantle of Rift Valley or the Kalenjin nation. Because as we stand, President William Ruto is the kingpin of the Kalenjin nation in terms of politics. But what next after? Because if President William Ruto gets a second term, he will serve 10 years, then maybe he will retire from being actively involved in politics, and then someone will take over after that. So who is that person? Could it be that President William Ruto did strike a deal with Gideon Moi on the same, one, politically, and two, in terms of economics, in that President William Ruto might have agreed to salvage the Standard Group by paying off the debts, and then in the process, Standard Group will have to tone down a little bit in terms of attacks on the government. So it just as I've said, it must have been a give or take when it comes to matters politics, because Gideon Moi was seen as a very close confidant of former President Uhuru Kenyatta. And for him to have struck such a deal, it means that he must have given in to several demands by President William Ruto. I know it is a disappointment to the Kanu supporters within Baringo County because they had high hopes about the re-emergence of Gideon Moi in the political scene. But as they say in politics, there are no permanent friends and permanent enemies. So whatever has been playing out in the political field tells you that politics, as Mandago says, usiweke siasa kwa roho, weka kwa lungs. So whoever thought that President William Ruto and Gideon Moi were sworn enemies, today you get to know that politics is about interest. And now, since Gideon Moi's interest was economical and political, he had to give in so as to serve the larger interest of the family's business empire. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep monitoring what's going on in the political scene, and we'll keep you guys updated when we get more info. But if you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye bye.